need to know right now. Number one in our starting five is that one of those spots has been filled. The Bills promoting offensive coordinator Joe Brady to the head job. He worked under Sean McDermott, who was fired last week. Brady has been with the team since 2022, and after being named OC in 2023, Buffalo is second in the league in points per game.
And NFL insider Dan Graziano with us now. Dan, tell us how and why this decision was made to elevate Joe Brady to head coach.
Yeah, Jay, the Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Bills, was involved in this head coaching search. And you look at the list of candidates they talked to: Joe Brady, the current offensive coordinator; Brian Daboll, the former offensive coordinator in Buffalo; Davis Webb, who was one of Josh Allen's backup quarterbacks not long ago. It was clear they wanted somebody with whom Josh Allen had a strong working relationship. That's not the only reason to hire a head coach. Joe Brady has been interviewed by several teams around the league the last few cycles for head coach, including this one. The Raiders interviewed him twice during this head coaching cycle. So he's seen as a candidate for the top job. The Bills feel like, hey, we have the guy in-house. We know he and the quarterback work well together. We think he has head coaching stuff inside of him. Let's make sure it's us who reap those benefits as opposed to some other team stealing him away from us.
Well, that vacancy filled. 3 teams left that still need a head coach: Browns, Cardinals, and the Raiders. Dan Graziano with the latest. Thanks so much, Dan.
All right, the second thing you need to know, the Steelers introducing new coach and Pittsburgh native Mike McCarthy today. The 62-year-old becomes just the 4th Steelers coach since 1969. Unlike the others, he's not an up-and-comer, but a seasoned coach who won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. And he was asked today about trying to get Aaron Rodgers to come back.
I'm not asking this from any other perspective except your own personal preference. In your best case scenario, do you want Aaron Rodgers back as your quarterback next year?
That's nice the way he asked that, right? That was slick. But I mean, definitely. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't.
All right, Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor is on the scene in Pittsburgh. I love how he answered that.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, that's a nice way to answer that, ask that question. Brooke, tell us what stuck out to you in that presser earlier today.
Well, Amina, you guys said it a minute ago, seasoned pro. That is Mike McCarthy through and through, especially the way he handled that question about Aaron Rodgers, because there was a heavy quarterback flavor to the questions here that were posed to the new head coach, including, does he want Aaron Rodgers back, about developing quarterbacks. And he specifically mentioned one quarterback who is on the roster right now in Will Howard. Now, I want you to listen to how he pronounces his name. It's got a little bit of a Yinzer flair.
I'm really excited about Will Howard. You know, I think he's someone that I thought he really came on there at Ohio State. You know, I'm anxious to work with him. I understand and embrace the responsibility, the privilege, and the weight that comes with this stewardship. This city, this franchise, this fan base means the world to me. Because Pittsburgh's my world. My heart is full. My focus is singular, and it's time to bring another championship back to this great city. And with that, I just want to make sure that when we do get that trophy, that, you know, the 7th trophy in the case, we'll start that victory parade at 1137 Greenfield Avenue.
Now, that is the address of his parents' house, Joe and Nell, who were both at the press conference today, along with more than a dozen other McCarthys. He had his wife here, his kids here, his sisters. The crew rolled really, really deep, and I think that hearing the emotion in his voice shows how much this job means to him, this opportunity means to him, and he's ready to take this on head first. He talked about how the last 48 hours have been really fluid, building out his staff, going with the quarterback. That's obviously priority number 1. Number 2, you got to get the guys in place to coach that quarterback, whether that's Aaron Rodgers, Will Howard, or quarterback TBD.
Yeah, Yin's guys, he's home. Wants to coach hard now.
Hard. I thought Brooke was going to add the hard, too. I thought she was going to lean into it right there.
Brooke Pryor from Pittsburgh. Thank you, Brooke. All right, ahead, Pittsburgh's hiring of Mike McCarthy has been a bit polarizing for some folks. We got plenty more reaction in our Take 2, Amina.
All right, number 3 in our starting 5, the Falcons introducing new head coach Kevin Stefanski. He's coming off of a mixed 6 seasons in Cleveland. He took the Browns to the playoffs in 2020 and 2023 and was named Coach of the Year both times. However, after going 8-26 the past 2 seasons, he was fired. Take a listen to Stefanski earlier during his presser.
I'm here because I believe in this group. I believe in this roster. I believe, like I mentioned in what Arthur and Matt have put together already. I promise you this, we will work. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about what we're going to do. We're just going to keep our head down and work. This career in this business, it's sometimes you have to navigate tough times, and I certainly have seen my tough times, and I feel like I'm a better coach on the other side of that. And I, like Matt mentioned, I want to learn from all those things. I hope that there's things that I learned on a day-to-day basis. I hope there's big picture things that I've learned and taken from that. So really excited about where I am, but I wouldn't change anything about the past.
And the Falcons hope Stefanski can get off to a hot start like he did with the Browns back in 2020. Stefanski helped end Cleveland's 17-season playoff drought in his first year. The Falcons currently hold the second longest active drought in the NFL.
Now to college football for number 4 on the starting 5. Duke University and quarterback Darian Mensah have agreed to a settlement that lets him out of his contract with the school. Our Max Olson reports that this opens the door for him to transfer to Miami. Despite having a multi-year NIL deal, Mensah entered the portal a week ago, only to have Duke sue him. McCarthy takes the sidelines in Pittsburgh next year. He'll be just the 4th Steelers head coach since 1969. But he'll be the most different. Chuck Noll was 37 when he got the job. Bill Cowher, 35, same as Mike Tomlin. They were up-and-comers. McCarthy has been there, done that. 62 years old, an NFL coach for 18 years, a Super Bowl winner. His surprise hire is our Take 2.
You're going to move on from Mike Tomlin. You need to give me better than Mike McCarthy. I mean, no disrespect.
I mean, you think about Mike McCarthy being 62, even if he has a great run for 5, I mean, you're talking about the guys nearing 70. Like, how long do guys want to do this?
If you're hiring your head coach because you think it'll help you keep 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, that's idiotic.
The future there is not going to be Aaron Rodgers, whether he comes back or not, or whether Mike McCarthy is a head coach in order to entice him back or not is irrelevant.
Part of why you brought McCarthy in to begin with is to develop the next quarterback.
And Art Rooney goes out, hires this man, and then looks into the camera and talks to Steeler Nation and says, well, you know what, we're not concerned about their feelings. The games will say, so what?
Replacing Mike Tomlin with Mike McCarthy is almost like Groundhog Day. You're doing the same thing, and for Steelers fans, they're looking around and they're like, well, what are we doing?
This is unacceptable, but we got to deal with it because guess what? It ain't like they got much to root for in Pittsburgh other than schemes.
Oh, man. the takes are hot.
One, when you say no disrespect, there's some disrespect
That's when
coming.
You know the disrespect is on the way when you preface it by saying
exactly.
that.
Two, Dan Graziano with the idiotic, the tough work. Go, Dan Graziano.
Look, Dan has so much to say. We saw it in the Take 2 right there. Dan Graziano back here with us. Dan, what's your take on this hire in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I stand by what I said. Like, if the reason you hired Mike McCarthy was to get Aaron Rodgers back, then that's idiotic. I don't think that's the reason that Pittsburgh hired Mike McCarthy. I think they hired him because they think he can shepherd them into whatever their next era is at quarterback. They could bring back Aaron Rodgers. That's possible, but that's not the reason to hire a head coach at this point in Aaron Rodgers' career.
Okay, all right. So some speculation surfacing yesterday as we changed topics with the Super Bowl coming up that Drake May might be dealing with a shoulder injury, Dan. Mike Vrabel was asked about it earlier today. Take a listen to him.
No, I won't say that anybody hurt anything. You know what I mean? Again, this is a sport where there's going to be things that come up, but I don't think that there's we'll talk about whatever status each player has for the game.
Dan, do you have any reporting or anything you can add to when you do that? It just makes me laugh.
Like
What can you add, Mr. Graziano?
He didn't say no.
He did not.
Like, he didn't, like, as Drake May hurt his shoulder. He did not. So obviously this is something we're going to keep an eye on as injury reports start to come out ahead of the Super Bowl starting tomorrow. There was a play, I was at this game, there was a play late in the third quarter where he scrambles and he dives at the end of the run. He picked up 13 yards on this play. Here it is right here. And he lands on his right shoulder. I was sitting next to Sal Palantonio in the press box and we both had the same reaction. Is he all right? Now he finished the game obviously. They're in a snowstorm, didn't throw much anyway. No indication after the game that anything was wrong, but you know, it came up and Vrabel addressed it and certainly could have said, nah, there's nothing to it. He didn't say that. So that means we now speculate on this for the next week and a half ahead of Super Bowl 60. But Other than having seen that play, remembering that play, and thinking about it at the time, no, I haven't been told anything to make me worry about it. But again, Mike Vrabel had a chance to shut it down, and he didn't. Now, is he doing that for gamesmanship reasons, or is there really something to worry about? All will be revealed here in the coming days.
I was worried by the way that Dan's eyes were just moving on that screen. That worried me just a little bit, Dan. Unfortunately for the Patriots.
But you wanted to call 911? Go help Dan.
I didn't know Dan needed some help. But the Patriots have got 12 days before Super Bowl 60. Dan Graziano with the latest. Thanks so much, Dan. All right, let's recognize some 5-star performances at 5 and take a look at this. Plenty of big plays in the Lakers win over the Bulls last night. But